You're now tuned in to The Crossover with Marlon Jones and Armon Williams.
Hold up, you're teaming up a Sun Devil and a Wildcat? Who came up with that brilliant idea?
The Crossover on KDUS AM 1060.
All right, we are back. Welcome to The Crossover with Marlon and Armon, KDUS 1060, brought to you by Western States Plumbing and AC, where members receive 2 annual maintenance visits as well as up to 20% off repairs and new systems. Call today, 480-712-8908. Once again, that's 480-712-8908. And be sure to follow us on our Facebook fan page as well as our YouTube channel. And you can follow us at The Crossover 1060. All right, Marlon, I wanted to get in a little bit more buzz. These are just some random stories that I thought would be pretty interesting to talk about. Now, we talked about last week, the opening segment, we talked about the collapse of the Pac-12 conference and what some of the aftermath is going to be. And it's starting to unfold a little bit, you know, in addition to what's already happened, and particularly with the Big Ten and the Big 12. But it looks like additions of Oregon State and Washington State could be possible in the Mountain West Conference. It could be coming to you very soon, that announcement. It's just a matter of time. And as I go ahead and I pull this information up, this is recently came out from Joe Lundergan from Athlon Sports. I want to make sure I get that right. This was just a couple days ago. He said the Mountain West Conference posted a statement to the league's official social media channels on Wednesday afternoon. Said the statement confirmed that league presidents had a meeting as recently as Monday to discuss options of moving forward, including the prospects of adding more schools. And then Amanda Kristovich of Front Office Sports, she posted the following statement that Oregon State and Washington State are the most commonly talked about schools in these discussions, which is no shock that they need a place to go, and that would be a good get for the Mountain West Conference if they were to get Washington State and Oregon State.
That would be a great get. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I mean, to put it frankly, it'd be a great get to get the Beavers and the Cougars in that conference.
Yeah,
you know, it makes them a little bit stronger. You know, they're both quality football programs. You know, as far as, you know, you and I know that. And Oregon State would look like they're on the verge of doing something big coming up here in the next couple of years with the Pac-12. But, you know, obviously we won't see that now. But it's
they had a reputable football program over the last couple seasons.
Absolutely.
And they'll bring that to the Mountain West. Hopefully, they'll continue to they might be at the top of the totem pole. They're in the Mountain West Conference.
They should probably be favored every year. You would think. To play in that conference that they would be favored, at least their football season. So
right.
So yeah, hopefully that's where they land. Hopefully they can find a place sooner rather than later, and you know, not be stuck in limbo while everybody else has moved on and, you know, playing in their respective conferences. But, you know, hopefully that they can go there and be successful.
And speaking of favorites in Mountain West football over the last few years, it's been San Diego State. They've pretty much been the dominant team football-wise. It used to be Boise State. Now it's San Diego State. But speaking of San Diego State, there's news that came out recently that there were rumors circulated as recent as just this past week, like Tuesday, that San Diego State officials had attempted to find other Mountain West schools to defect from the new conference and form their own separate conference.
Oh,
is that crazy?
Yeah, that is crazy. I think SDSU is kind of full of themselves right now because they do have a very good football program.
They got a great football program.
And they got a great basketball program.
Basketball program. Good football program, great basketball
program. They always, football season, they always beat up on the Pac-12. You know, whomever they play, they always come out with a W. And, you know, they've always had a very good basketball program for the last few years. So that's just them feeling themselves thinking that they want to be the big dog in the conference. And, you know, they got found out.
But, you know, it's funny because they're sitting here, they're making threats, man. They're threatening, trying to commit mutiny, man.
Kind of
with the Mountain West.
At the end of the day, what kind of threats are they going to make?
They're trying to bite the hand that feeds them.
Come on, man.
They're going to mess around and get that folding chair.
You are San Diego State. You are not USC. Keep it 100.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
All right, in other news, this recently came out from Jeremy Clough from the Arizona Republic. I think this is particular interest to you, Marlon. Former Arizona State coordinator questioned Arizona State and the Pac-12 Conference's leadership in the wake of the Sun Devils leaving for the Big 12 Conference and the collapse of the one-time Conference of Champions in a recent interview. Now, this is Coach Phil Bennett, who was particularly harsh in his assessment of Arizona State Athletic Director Ray Anderson, saying that Anderson was not qualified as an athletic director in his comments to 365 Sports. He goes on to say, when I think of Arizona State, I've told you this. It's an unbelievable place. The fans are awesome. The setup's awesome, said Bennett, who was an ASU defensive coordinator under Todd Graham back in 2017. Says not so much with the administration. I don't think they really understand what was happening. It's obvious by Ray Anderson's comment about Morgantown that they weren't that jacked up about it. But really, they left themselves no options. And he goes on to say, I wasn't surprised Dr. Michael Crow has been there for 20-plus years. They've never been assertive enough to be the great program that they could be. What do you have to say about that, Marlon?
Well, myself and other Arizona State fans, when it comes to Ray Anderson, there's a lot of people who are not fans of his. Mm-hmm. And, what's happened to the football program over the last few years, especially under Herm, and the direction it's gone. And then Dr. Crow, who's done some good things for ASU academically, but me personally, I don't want to say delusions of grandeur, but to think that ASU belongs in the annals in the same class as a Stanford or
academically? Oh, hell no.
I'm just telling you, that's his
vision?
viewpoint and his vision. Mm. Number one in innovation every year.
Party school, yeah. But
that's the thing, and that what disappoints me, especially with the whole Morgantown comment, which is a fabulous college town, by the way.
It's a great college town.
Beautiful stadium, beautiful atmosphere, great football. First of all, I want to take that trip.
Beautiful state to visit. Have you ever driven through
yes.
Have you ever driven through not just Morgantown, but through West Virginia? I've driven through it several times. I got to tell you, it's a beautiful state. Yeah, there's a lot of poverty. A lot of,
there's a lot of
infrastructure sucks, but it is absolutely a gorgeous place to visit, man.
But it's a great college town, and quite frankly, I think they should start a new tradition with ASU and West Virginia. Those are the top three party schools in the country: West Virginia and
you got
ASU.
That right. You got that right.
1, 2, or 3. You'll see either ASU or West Virginia. So they should have an annual contest every year. Play for the Golden Keg. That's what I'm thinking.
The Golden Keg.
The Golden Keg. and play. So they should embrace that. Ray should be. He should be looking forward to wanting to go to Manhattan or Stillwater, or Ames. A whole new slew of opponents. Going to Lawrence and face these new opponents that we have, and the new competition that we have that's going to put ASU in a different light. And I can tell you, being on a bunch of different Big 12 sport pages and whatnot, the Big 12 sports fans are very, very welcoming of the schools that are coming in.
They're extremely welcoming.
Yes, they're really looking forward to. Excuse me, they're really looking forward to U of A coming in.
Basketball-wise, absolutely.
Basketball-wise, they're really looking forward to Utah coming in.
And Arizona State.
Arizona State and Colorado.
Right.
And
Colorado, absolutely. Come back.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
And they've been very cordial and welcoming. And then for Ray Anderson to kind of put a bad light on that.
Kind of took a dump on that situation.
A whole dump.
And it was a bad joke. I get it, but, sometimes you just got to know how to, when to hold and when to fold and when to walk away. That comedy should have just left that comment in his pocket.
Yeah,
taking out and displaying it.
He should.
Okay.
Yeah, he should have left that in the bathroom.
I just got to ask you a question on Ray Anderson and Michael Crow. Do you think that they're right for the program, for the trajectory, athletically, where they need to be, or you think that ultimately they're going to probably need to go ahead if they want to move forward and be a program that this coach thinks that they could be, that they have to move on from it?
I think they might have to move on. It's a whole new era of ASU athletics, a whole new era, new conference. There's a new excitement with Coach Dillingham, the hard work that he's putting in with his staff, with the football program. He did hire Hurley, and I thank him for that. And Hurley's putting in a lot of work, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the basketball team compete in the Big 12 with everybody else, of course. I'm really looking forward to the wrestling program competing with the big wrestling programs in the Big 12, the non-revenue sports, of course. There's just a lot of stuff that I'm really excited about, but I think that it's time for a change for the direction that we're going in.
And they still got that football suspension thing, potential football suspension thing that's floating around that the NCAA is probably, the infractions. The NCAA is probably going to sanction them. Who knows? I'm wondering why it's taking so long.
Well, the way way that Dilly and the rest of that staff is recruiting, they feel it's not going to be anything too major because they're recruiting their tail off, and they're still getting kids signed.
They'll be able to ride this whatever it is, the tsunami or whatever it is that might hit them.
Right, and then I'm looking at other programs that are getting sanctions, like Tennessee just had some stuff done, and with a little slap on the wrist.
Right.
And Tennessee did some stuff worse than ASU.
I'm sure they have. And with this new IL deal, that kind of changes things.
Oh, yeah.
It definitely changes the whole atmosphere or kind of the structure. It takes away power from the NCAA ultimately, which I'm all for that.
100%.
All right. When we get back, coming up next, buckle up, folks. It's another entertaining, fun segment with that wacky one himself. It's Crazy Tracy Ting Yu live on the Crossover 1060 KDUS Radio. Don't go anywhere.